Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, to the Tarot Translator. I'm Ariel and I am about to hop in and do your reading for the sign of Gemini. All right, so to get started, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out an overall major arcana card, which we'll come back to at the end, and see how it relates to the entire message. So the card that you got, Gemini, is the World. It's a really beautiful card. All right, so we're going to put that right here, and then we're going to add 3 more cards to that, which are just going to be our overlying themes. So we're going to go ahead and get one universe message card for you. And you've got, when I lean on certainty and faith, I change my mind about the world I see. Wow, that's a really interesting message. When I lean on certainty and faith, I change my mind about the world I see. I like that. I think it's talking, about how you really need to go sometimes and let go of like trying to control everything, lean on that faith, that, the divine source, the universe has your back. And essentially that, you can always shift in how you feel about the world around you, and you can manifest the world that you want to see. It's so interesting that there's some synchronicity here between your first card, which was the world, and this one talking about how you can adapt the world around you. All right. So for our third and final card overlaying this message here, I'm going to go in and grab one of these. This is a really beautiful deck. One wanted to pop out, but that wasn't it. Here it is. Manifestation. We just talked about that. So we just talked about how you can manifest the world that you want to see around you. When you have faith, right? When you have faith in the things that you want to come true or to fruition, when you have faith in the divine, when you have faith in the universe, that it has your back and that it's working with you and not against you, you can manifest because you are vibrating at that frequency of what you want. And you can't get what you want if you're not vibrating at the frequency of what you want, right? So if you're a lower vibrational person, which you most likely aren't, but if you are, you're going to attract low vibrational people to you. If you're a high vibrational person, you typically tend to align with and attract high vibrational people to you. So let's jump into your reading now. And let's start off with just a spread of past, current, future. Give you some advice on what the cards say, find out what your challenge is, and also look at what you don't see coming. All right, so we're just going to start off by giving this deck one more shuffle, even though I've already shuffled these decks very well. Cleared them all. Let's just start here. So we're going to do 3 cards for our past, 3 cards for the current energies, and then 3 cards for the future energies. Give me what I need to see for Gemini, please. First card, we have the Chariot. All right, we got 2 here. We got the 5 of Pentacles and the 5 of Wands. All right, and in the current energy, thank you, we have the Empress followed by the Tower. Gemini, please. The 4 of Pentacles. And let's jump into our future here. What's coming next? The Moon. The Queen of Pentacles. And the 10 of Swords. Okay, so what you don't see coming at the bottom of the deck is the 6 of Pentacles. I'm going to put this here. And your challenge in the moment is the Ace of Cups. So we're going to put that here. And now we're going to clarify these cards and get you some more information. That's my dog, Milo, nesting a spot underneath my table here. Okay, so what I see here, and let's just actually clarify these as we get into it. So the Chariot, the 5 of Pentacles, and the 5 of Wands is being clarified by the 9 of Cups, the King of Cups, and the 4 of Cups. So Gemini, I'm seeing here that in the recent past, there was a situation where you felt like you needed to sever ties with somebody. There's a feeling of 5 of Pentacles, which is your energy of being sort of left out in the cold. So you or someone else essentially did the severing or knows that a severing tie needs to happen here. We've got the 5 of Wands, which talks about disagreements, right? So the 5 of Wands and the 5 of Pentacles, some sort of disagreement happened here that created a shift in the dynamic of your relationship with this person, which ultimately led to the Chariot, which is essentially talking about moving forward, right? And success. It talks about sort of having the confidence to say, okay, or trying to manifest the confidence to say, this situation isn't necessarily feeling intuitively right for me. And I think that because of this, disagreement that we're having and the stagnation that I feel, whether you're still with this person or on its way out, there's something that's like not fulfilling you here. And for it to be clarified by the Nine of Cups, the King of Cups, and the Four of Cups, it's sort of saying that, like, look, I thought that this particular person was my Nine of Cups, right? Which ultimately leads to the Ten of Cups. And the King of Cups energy can talk about this person or you feeling like there was a lot of love once here in the situation. But the Four of Cups talks about being unhappy and just sort of feeling aloof and feeling like ultimately like it's not everything that I thought it was going to be. So something here in the recent past came to a close, or you knew needed to come to a close. And in the current energy, what you have here is the Empress, the Tower, and the Four of Pentacles. So we've got Empress clarified by the Knight of Cups, the King of Pentacles, and the Six of Swords. So again, this theme of Six of Swords being moving forward in this current energy, you've got this Empress energy, which is like this inner knowing, this feeling of self-trust, this feeling of knowing intuitively that you're making the right decision. The Tower came. The Tower talks about like shaking that foundation that wasn't built on solid ground, change, upheaval, a sudden, unexpected, just feeling of like, I need to get into my Empress energy and create, right? So like maybe when you decided that this relationship wasn't for you, it allowed room for you to be able to chase your dreams, go after your goals. Gemini is one of the signs that in this current planetary shifts that are happening with the, with the full moons that we've got going on, with the eclipses that we've got going on, and all these things, Gemini is one of the signs that is very much calling in financial abundance and change in their life, severing ties with the old. Wow, that just fell off my wall, but I don't think that was a spooky thing because I literally just hung it, and that's confirmation that what we're saying is right. So in any event, something in you is essentially feeling like it's time to move forward. And you've got these great ideas of things that you want to do that maybe this relationship was taking away from that energy that you were able to give yourself to focus on these ideas, this business, maybe this just new way of living your life that you've always wanted to do, but you've sort of put on hold for a moment. Four of Pentacles can talk about, protecting your lot, right? Like making sure that like you're holding on to what is important to you. So taking care of yourself, like holding on to your boundaries, holding on to what is most meaningful to you. So after the Tower happens, there's debris that needs to be picked up, right? When one door closes, another door opens. What am I taking with me into the new cycle? What am I leaving behind in the old cycle? Knight of Cups, King of Pentacles, Six of Swords. Again, this Knight of Cups, King of Pentacles, it's like I'm looking for somebody who is essentially going to move forward with me in a very like emotionally stable way. Like I want somebody who is going to be reciprocal with me in the feelings that we have, right? King of Pentacles is, I also want somebody who understands like that we're a partnership and that I need someone who, or ultimately I want, not that I need, but I want somebody who brings forth just as much drive and ambition as I have, right? The Empress is here talking about your energy being very like growth mindset. So wanting somebody who's stable, who brings things to the table, who's the King of Pentacles is the most financially stable king in the tarot. He's a very grounded king. He's a very nurturing king, right? And he ultimately knows exactly how to provide and be a stable foundation and be in partnerships that are healthy. Six of Swords talks about moving forward. So as we move on to the next set here, which is talking about the upcoming energy for you, we've got the Moon, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Ten of Swords. So this Queen of Pentacles is the counterpart to the King of Pentacles. That's interesting. And we've got the Moon here, which it can talk about your dreams. It can talk about, illusions. It can talk about energies that are present, but that you can't necessarily quite put your finger on because there's some sort of like, the moon comes out at night. You can't see everything at night. It's not as clear. It's not the sun. It's not shining on everything. There's something that is unknown going on here in the upcoming energy. And Queen of Pentacles is an earth energy. You could be dealing with an earth sign here. But it talks about like warmth, right? And prosperity and like a motherly caring energy, which is very similar to the Empress energy. So the Moon to the Queen of Pentacles to the Ten of Swords. We've got clarification by the Ace of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, and the King of Wands. So let's look into this really quick. All right, at the bottom of the deck, we actually have the Death card, which talks about rebirth, changes, something happening that is essentially going to create a new rising from the Phoenix type energy. So what I see here is Ace of Wands, new opportunity, Knight of Pentacles, taking it slow, taking your time, not jumping to conclusions with things. And then we've got King of Wands. The King of Wands can be a very authoritative king. He can be somebody that, is a fire sign, could be dealing with an Aries, Sagittarius, or a Leo here. But in the future, I see something about this Ten of Swords, an ending happening with this King of Wands energy. So maybe there hasn't been a severing tie yet, but it's going to be a severing tie, because what you're looking for is more of this, like, bringing what's been hidden to light, nurturing yourself, nurturing your dreams, nurturing those ambitions, nurturing that flow that is happening right now, that energy that is coming up bubbling up to the surface, essentially. And ultimately, taking your time, being methodical, not rushing to conclusions or solutions, right? Like taking your time to think, how am I taking these next steps? What am I going to leave behind? What am I going to take with me? The eclipse season right now for us, I'm a Gemini rising, I'm a Virgo sun, and a Pisces moon. We're one of the three, all three, my big three, are all being heavily impacted right now. Like things are being sort of brought to light, illusions are being stripped away, and we're being left with like what's actually for us. Like we're having a reset. We're having a moment of like serious clarity, and Gemini specifically is having a moment of incredible abundant opportunities coming to them. Your challenge is the Ace of Cups, and that talks about love, right? Like the Ace of Cups is the most love that you can pull from the tarot. I mean, it's a new opportunity in love, and perhaps you're a little burned by what this last situation did, because it wasn't a reciprocal Six of Pentacles energy here, as what you didn't see coming. It wasn't as reciprocal as you wanted. Maybe you were giving more in this relationship than the other person was, or the person had the illusion in their head that they were giving more when in fact they weren't. It really talks about reciprocity, and it can talk about financially helping others, but it's also just very much a card of saying like, what I want wants me too. What I seek is also seeking me, right? An Ace of Cups here being the challenge, saying like, okay, perhaps there's something going on where you're feeling like, this is the hard part for me right now, is I want to focus on myself. I want to focus on like what I want to build, what I want to grow. And maybe love is not something that's like super important to me right in this moment, because of the things that have transpired recently. So I'm going to give you some signs that you might be currently dealing with as just a confirmation here. So you could be dealing with a Libra, fellow air sign, a Capricorn, a Cancer. 2 more, please. Thank you. A Libra again. Ooh. And you could be dealing with a Sagittarius. Interesting. Randomly in this deck, look what came up. The Lovers. And as our challenge, we have the Ace of Cups. So that's further confirmation to me that in this moment right now, there is a challenge in love that, or love is on the back burner, because you're essentially saying like, hey, you know what? I need to focus on myself, because the last time that I was in a relationship with somebody, it just wasn't exactly what I needed. And I know my worth and I know my boundaries, and I'm going to stick to them. Yeah. So I'm going to do a quick oracle card here, which is going to go through these signs, and let's see, like if you're dealing with a Libra, what is Libra's feelings towards Gemini at the moment? Boundaries. We need to teach people how to treat us by being clear on what you will and won't allow. So again, I was talking about boundaries earlier, and boundaries came up. Capricorn, let's see what message comes through with Capricorn. Love your shadow, accept the work with flaws in yourself so that you can learn to accept others as they are. Okay, accept the work with the flaws in yourself so you can learn to accept others as they are. Love your shadow. I actually really love that message, whether you're dealing with a Capricorn or not. Love your shadow means, accept the parts of you that you think might be flaws, because everything, right? The good, the bad, the wonderful, the ugly, all of it makes up who we are. And in order to truly love yourself, you have to love every aspect of yourself. If you're dealing with a Cancer, let's see what it says the Cancer might be feeling towards you. Keep the door open. So the Cancer is keeping the doors open with you. Don't be so focused on closed doors that you don't see the ones which open for you. So this, I think, is talking more or less about the fact that, again, we said this earlier, when one door closes, another door opens. Don't be so focused on the one that closed, on the past, that you don't see what's actually for you and what's coming. Because sometimes we have, an idea in our head of who we want to be with and what we want, and the universe is sort of nudging us that like, that's not the one for you. I have something better for you. Like, that's not it. And we're just so stuck on like, but I want that to be it. Like, I want that one. And, it's like God's plan, the universe, source, whatever you believe in. It's like, I know better. Like, I know what's better for you out there. And that's why I'm severing. I'm bringing a tower moment to the situation because it's not the one. So Sagittarius is overthinking. Playing negative scenarios in your head is creating issues which weren't there at first. And a lot of Sagittarius people are actually going through something right now that very much resonates with what this says right here. Because again, the top signs that are being affected by these eclipses right now are Pisces, Sagittarius, Gemini, Virgo, and also the sign of, let's see, Pisces, I said, Sagittarius, Virgo, Gemini, and Sagittarius. I didn't say that one already. So there's a lot of shifts that are happening right now. A lot of new energy coming in. These are just some of the signs that are coming forward or the messages that are coming forward to you. And then ultimately the one that came out was divine timing. Be patient while things are unfolding. This connection is worth the wait. So, divine timing might not mean that this connection that you're in right now is worth the wait, but the one that I have coming for you is going to be worth the wait. Be patient while things are unfolding. So as you regain your energy, get back into Empress mode, get back into focusing on yourself, things are unfolding behind the scenes that you don't even know about. The universe has a million things planned for you in your lifetime that you can't see. And a lot of the times we're trying to manifest a better paying job or a nicer car or a bigger home, or, we want whatever it is that we want. It's like oftentimes when we're, again, vibrating at the right frequency, the universe brings us everything that we need exactly when we need it. And it knows better than we do. So bring all of that back to the initial cards that you got here, which were the World, having faith, and then manifestation. I think that your reading very much ties into what came out in the very beginning here, which is essentially saying, this is your time, Gemini. It's your time to close the doors that no longer serve you so that you leave room to open the doors that are actually authentically for you. And you'll be so much happier if you release the fear of the unknown and the fear of stepping into this new timeline, stepping into this new chapter, closing the old chapter out, and genuinely moving forward with the concept that I have faith that everything is going to work out in my favor. So this is what I have for you, Gemini. Thank you so much for being here. I look forward to reading for you again. Please share with somebody that you think might be going through something similar. Subscribe so that you know that when I post next. And ultimately, it really helps me tap into your energy. So obviously, I'm new here. We're growing a sense of community, and I want to be able to tap into your energy more. So I know for myself, from years of watching tarot, the tarot channels that I would interact with, that I would leave comments with, that I would at least, just even they were somehow always the channels that as time went on were resonating with me more. So that's just a tip for across all the platforms. I'm sure you watch lots of other tarot readers. Be careful not to muddle the waters though, right? So you don't want too many cooks in the kitchen, and you also want to remember that you have to use your own discernment. You have to use your own intuition. And by watching these readings, I hope that you use your own intuition so you can connect the dots, because you know what's going on in your life more so than I do. I'm just giving you the reading that was meant to come through me today and reach you. So I love you. I'm sending you lots of light and positive energy, and I hope that you will come back and see me again soon. Bye, Gemini.